Welcome, beautiful souls, to another Love Wisdom message on my YouTube channel. I'm Monica Bermudez. I'm an intuitive energy healer and a channeler of light language. In today's video, I would love to share and talk about what it means to fall in love with yourself and getting into the whole point of the Sacred Heart, the message itself, and how it all just ties together. So first of all, when we are in the process of really this self-love journey, and I call it a journey because sometimes we get ourselves distracted and get pulled in different directions and energies of thinking that loving someone else would make us, somebody else is loving us, that will be our self-love, or that we feel complete in that way. And the truth is that we ourselves make ourselves complete. Because that's really where it all starts, is your own relationship with yourself. So despite anything going on in your life, in your love life, or even in your own soul purpose and what you're doing, it all comes back to self-love. And the process of it is, first of all, if you're getting out of a certain heartbreak, certain pain or grief that you're overcoming, there's a level of acceptance that, first step that it happened, but then there's another level of learning to let go. And part of that is through the forgiveness. But forgiveness doesn't mean that you're giving your power away. It actually is empowering you and bringing you back into your own power source. You're bringing your own power back. Because if we hold on to anger and frustration, or even depression and sadness for something that happened to us in our life, it is like holding poison in our body. And so in a way, it's almost like very poisoning to us in unhealthy ways. So that's why it's good to practice forgiveness, because that is, taking your power back. And although, some may think that, forgiveness is allowing the other person to do the harm that they did to you, that's not the case. It's liberating yourself from over-attaching yourself to that emotion of that anger. And, while it is important to know that it is okay to process whatever comes up, of course, but learn from it. Learn from that experience. That is the key to it. And once you have achieved that learning from it, then there's a point of that we let go, right? And no longer need to dwell on it forever or get so overly attached to it. And so that is the key factor to letting go. And the minute that you start to forgive, starting with yourself and whatever other situation may have happened or occurred, is the minute that you also start to step into your own self-love and you fall in love with yourself. So there is another aspect of self-love, and that is about self-worth and self-image. We have a tendency to overly compare ourselves to others and seeing how others in our life interact, who is more successful than, more successful, or who has the best love life. And so there is this constant battle going on at times, and sometimes it could be at a subconscious level, and it's very self-sabotaging and demeaning. And so it doesn't serve also to remain in that vibration. So it is important to know to embrace your own worth and your own power of who you are and what you hold inside of you. And so knowing that is also a liberating point, a relief. A relief also that to know that there is nobody really pressuring you other than yourself, and to thinking that you have to be this overly perfect person perfect before jumping into this next relationship, or perfect to be into a certain soul purpose mission that you have here on earth. And knowing that we're human. And of course, as humans, we make mistakes. So the key is to be able to learn from those mistakes and move on with ease, right? So knowing that there is no pressure really from yourself, starting from yourself, putting that pressure that you have to be this ultimate perfect person to get certain things and goals. For instance, if in order to lose a certain amount of weight, I will love myself. So it's time to really just love yourself just the way you are, and look at every aspect of every part of yourself, everything about you, including the shadow part, the parts that are, from pains and traumas, or anything that is coming up that is part of you. It's all part of you. So they too deserve to be loved and accepted. They too deserve to have your attention. And so that is a very important thing to know as well, that with that, knowing that your own worth is also building on your own self-love and bringing back your own image of yourself, rather than focusing on the comparison of others around you. And just know that there's no need for comparison. There's no need for competition. We're entering into this new ascension energy of this highest vibrational energy. And it is calling for us to rise above, these energies. These are old structures of separation and division. And it's time to start thinking with that mentality of unity consciousness, vibrating at a higher frequency. So that is a very important aspect to have with you, reflect on, journal about, meditate on, and really put the effort, what's coming up for you when talking about these higher vibrational energies of love, about forgiveness. Pay attention to those, what comes up for you. So, knowing that although we may feel certain pains, from these past pains that do hurt, of course, they're very painful, and they're there for a reason. They're there to teach us a lesson, right? But they also serve as a catalyst to lead us into our own awareness of ourselves, our own self-love, to really reflect and get to know ourselves in deep within. So if you're really struggling with this, do get the help that you need. There's also a very important aspect of when you invest in yourself, then you're telling the universe that you're willing to receive and that you deserve better. You deserve to be your own worth. And that is an act of self-love also. A self-investment in yourself to improve, certain areas in your life, to get the healing support that you need at this time. So your heart knows, right? And I talk a lot about the heart, talking about the sacred heart. And sacred heart is a much deeper inner portal in our inner being that is waiting to be activated the minute that we break free from certain blocks and patterns, being buried on top of, what we already are. We already are love. And it's just a matter of breaking through those blocks, removing them, the clutter, the obstruction, and reconnecting again to our own divine source being, and bringing all of that together. And to me, that all starts within the heart chakra area. That is the foundation of all aspects of us. And so that is the source, a huge source of self-love, of infinite divine source of love, a divine wholeness, a strength within that love. And love is strong. Love is a state of being. Love is a consciousness. We're not talking about the emotional kind of love. We're talking about the universal, divine, pure love energy that emanates in everything, and it is a part of our every existence here on this earth, the whole universe. And as the Sacred Heart connects, every living being has a Sacred Heart. And we are all connected within that Sacred Heart energy, that vortex. So the heart knows where it's guiding you. It's a very intuitive source of energy. And just listen to that, what feels right in your heart, to who you go to, right, to get the support that you need at this time. So yes, going back to that whole self-worth, self-image, being able to go past all that. And the other thing that helps with the self-love is the self-care. Seeing what things that you enjoy, that you want to do, that make you feel good. For instance, going to the spa, or getting your nails done, or just simply going for a hike. And setting apart the time for that, the time for giving to yourself. So that's also another aspect of self-investment in yourself. And it's also grooming and taking care of yourself, taking care of your physical body, going to a fitness center, exercising, eating well, all of that is aspects of self-care. Buying the best quality food, the best for your body, and treating your body with the highest regard and respect. That all is part of self-care, and it's also part of self-worth. You treat your body as a sacred temple, and your body will react and say it will want healthy food. So it's also how you also set intentions on your body. What words are you also feeding to your body? That is also another aspect of self-care. And if you're not aware of it, the first step is to be aware of what thoughts, whether they're subconscious or not, that are really automatic, words that are repeating, are saying to your body. And the minute that you become aware of this, that is when you start to wake up, because you start to question that. You start to question where these thought patterns are coming from. Where did it start? And the minute you start doing that is when you start to wake up. And you start to make a difference, because then you apply your own willpower to make that change. A change with a conscious choice of deprogramming these unhealthy thoughts and words that you are telling yourself, to reprogram to healthier way of looking at yourself, and that self-image and that self-worth. And that's how you build that self-love with yourself. So that's what it means to fall in love with yourself, is to really embrace all that you are. So if we can easily fall in love with someone else, why can't we fall in love with ourselves first? And the minute that you do, you will feel so complete and so love independent. Love independent is the word that I use to mean to fill yourself with your own love, rather than depending on love from someone else, which is often termed as codependency. So why be dependent on someone else's love when you already carry an infinite amount of love inside of you? You are that source of love. And the more you fill yourself with it, that also ties into the whole law of attraction and magnetism. It builds on the resilience and the strength of it. And of course, as humans, we still feel, but it's something about with the heart coming to life in its fullness, that even through the pain, that resilience is much stronger and much faster. There's a faster healing than it was before, when it was fractured and disconnected or obstructed by other things in the way. And these things are like patterns or blocks, keeping us from being our fullness. And your heart knows when it feels these pains in the heart, and it could be just little triggers, like something that someone may say all of a sudden triggers you, and it just feels annoying in the heart. And those are signs of something to pay attention to. Signs of some wound that may have been there for some time, that may have been stirred simply by somebody's action or words, and the other may have been subconscious of saying it or not. But throughout, the separation or the division, and going through these emotional, romantic relationships, that words that are said or actions that are done in breaking up in any way is devastating to the heart as well. And of course, we all process things differently than everybody else. We each process in a different way, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so it goes back to this whole thing of comparison. So don't compare yourself thinking that you're not worthy of feeling what you feel. Everybody has their own pain in their own way, and everybody processes that pain in their own way. So there's an act of kindness, and that act of kindness starts with yourself. Being gentle with yourself and not beating yourself up for not being in a certain place, for not having received everything that you wanted or that you asked, or being resentful for having experienced such a terrible situation. All of those things don't serve you. If anything, it gives the power away. It gives your power away. So it's time to take back your own power. And that's what it means to fall in love with yourself. Is taking back your own power and standing up for yourself in a loving way. And creating those love boundaries, which it all starts within your own heart, in the sacred heart of the sacred heart. I hope this message has been inspiring for you. Please click like and share, and I look forward to connecting with you. Feel free to reach out to me if there's anything that you need support support with. And I will see you in the next Love Wisdom video. Sending you so much love. Bye for now.